Hi, everybody. It's Doreen DeCebus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and welcome to Funfold Friday. I'm here. I'm so sorry I'm late. I got home late today. I didn't even try to start making a card until 6 o'clock because it's been that kind of week. That kind of week. That's what happens to me when it is report card week. So what can I say? There's not much. So I am here. I'm a bit unorganized, but I have a fun fold for you. So, and I think you'll enjoy it. The only thing that saved me was that I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do, and I just went with it and didn't think I could create a fun fold in an hour and 15 minutes, but I did. So, like last week, I'm using the textured notes stamp set again. I am in love with this bundle suite, and tonight I'm going to feature the other designer series paper that comes with it, and it's all black and white, and that's what I really love about it. I'm in a black and white mood this week because this is what I'm going to do. It's going to be all black and white Sunday night for Simply Stamping Sunday. I did want to show you another set that I'm using. I'm just using a greeting from it, but I'm using the dies from it too. So we know that this has fabulous dies, and I am using this little die for our sentiment tonight. But there's another set that has some fabulous dies that I'm using tonight, and that is the Everyday Arches set. And I'm using this stamp right here, You Are Simply Fantastic, but it has all of these arched greetings that are all ready for you. And then the dies, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 arches that you could make with this particular set of dies. And so I decided for the card I was making tonight, I wanted arches, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But I also wanted to show you there's a companion set that goes with this, and it's called Arched Wishes. So it has some more of those arched elements in it. So I just wanted to share that with you. Hi, Lynn. Oh, it's rainy here too. So here is the card that we're going to make tonight. It is a trifold card, and I have been wanting to make one of these trifold cards for some time. I've seen them used with lots of our dies. I could have used the dies, the rectangular dies, right from the textured notes bundle, but like I said, I wanted to use the arches. So it opens up like this in a trifold, and so I just did some collage stamping all throughout this card. And then because I don't like to have unfinished cards, the back is all finished as well. And this is a thank you card. The greeting says a little note of appreciation. You are simply fantastic. And then a thank you in the back. And lots of space to do some writing on those other arches. So I just backed the arches back and forth. Hi, Angela. Thanks for joining. So this is what we're going to make tonight. All right, so let me see. Like I said, I haven't typed up anything, so I don't have my cheat sheet. The only thing I've prepared besides die cutting the arches is I stamped 2 of these leaves in basic black, well, in Memento black, and I have cut them out with scissors. You have to fussy cut these because there are no dies that go with it. So here's what I need. Now this can be done with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I am using a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock because I had the 12 by 12 cardstock in black, so I decided to create it to make the panels a little bit bigger. But if you want to do this with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, cut a strip of 3.5 by 11 and then take a 1/2 inch off, because then what you can do is score at 3.5 and 7, and you'll have the 3.5 inch panels. It'll just be a little it's just not going to be as wide as a normal card, but it's still going to be great. As I said, I'm using a piece of 3.5 by 12-inch paper, and I'm going to be scoring it at 4 1/8. Then what you need, the way that I did this, I needed to cut 6 arches out, and I used the third from the largest die, and you could still use the same die for the other one. It's still going to fit, but you may want to use the one smaller if you're going to use the 3.5-inch piece. Now, I used a piece of paper that measured 4 3/4 by 3.5, and this just fits on it. So you don't have a lot of waste. You end up, I saved a piece. You end up with this much waste. So if you want to cut this, you want it to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. Then I cut, because I need it, since I wanted to do layering, you know me, I love to layer. So I have some pieces of basic white cardstock. I have 6 of them that measure 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. So 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. And I needed 6 of these to go with each panel. And I used the same design of Designer Series paper. I need 6 of these as well. And we have this design here. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And then on the other side, you have like a black and gray splatter. And so 4 of them I cut at 3 3/4, 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. So I cut 4 of them with the pattern side up, and I cut 2 of them with just the kind of splattered. And I felt the splatter really fit the design of the card I was going to do tonight. So I'm going to get some just the easy stuff out of the way before we do our scoring. The scoring is super simple tonight, but what I want to start with is just getting these pieces of paper on the white. I had thought about doing it ahead of time, but I looked down at my watch and it was 7:05, and it shocked me because the last time I looked at it, it was 10 of 7, and I thought I was doing really well. And then once I realized that I was behind, and I quickly got on and let you know, I decided, no, I'm just going to attach them during the video. So I'm not saving any time, but we'll put the whole thing together. We'll put it all together on the video. So I could have added this right to the basic black, and you can too. You don't have to have this, the white between it, but I really liked how the white looked with it and gave it just a little extra bit of a border. So make that your decision. It will save you some basic white cardstock. And that's always a good thing, especially with the price of basic white going up when we get the new catalog. I'm just going to have to start layering with something else, I guess. Okay, so we're almost done adding these onto the pieces of basic white. And it'll just make it easier when it comes time to put the card together. We'll have this part all done. And we're going to do the stamping next. Now, I have seen this card done with different type of dies, and I've seen it done with the arch dies as well. I have seen the cards on Debbie Henderson's site. That's where I first saw it, and then I saw it at Mary Dietrich, her site with the arches. And so, like I said, you can be doing it with any die. Now, none of the people I saw made it so that it had the dies on the back as well, but that's just me. I really like to have things finished and polished, so that is why I'm doing it this way. So I am going to be stamping on the back. I'm using all different grays and blacks tonight. So I'm using basic gray, gray granite, smoky slate, and the memento black, just to give it just that little bit of oomph and make things stand out a little more and look more professional. So the middle one is just going to get my thank you stamp. It's the only time I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to take the little vines, and I have this here just so I can remember on the right one, I want to go to the right. On the left one, I want it to go to the left. And on the middle one, I'm just going to have it come up straight in the middle. So there we go. That's all the stamping that we need to do on the back panels. So I'll set those aside. Okay, so now we're going to start with the middle panel because I've got this out right now. And I'm just going to ink up this large arched sentiment. Close this. And I'm just going to grab something to stamp on it because it's a photopolymer stamp and it likes that little bit of a cushion. And I've got some paper here, so let's just get that down, and it's perfect. I love how it just fits right within that arch. Okay, so that has that part done, and now we have these other two stamps. So I'm going to be doing kind of the same thing on each one in just a little bit of a different way. So I'm going to start with gray granite. And I'm going to do the basket in the gray granite. And again, I'm just going to put it in different places. It's probably going to look different than it did on my other card. So there we go with that. Using the same ink, I'm going to use, like I did Sunday night, one of the Elements of Text stamps. And I am just going to do it once on different areas of the card. The gray granite is the lightest color that I'm using, so I don't even have to stamp off. And I'm going to just keep it up. Then I'm going to add my splatter stamp using gray granite. And I'm just going to add this, not as much as I did the other day, just a little bit. There we go. Just to fill in a little bit, we're going to be filling it in with some other things. But I especially want the corners filled in with something, the bottom of the page filled in, just to give it that background. And we're going to be layering the colors. I just love doing vintage and, well, I call this collage. Some people might call it vintage. I just love doing this. And this set is just perfect for it. I promise though that I will do some without this during our Simply Stamping Sunday. Okay, so on this one right here, I'm now going to add some of the, let's just move this out of the way. This one is going to be different because I was going to use smoky slate on the splatter and I didn't. So I'm going to want, for this one, the little leaves to be that way. This one, I'm going to want them to be like that. And then on the front, I'm going to want it high again and low again. All right. On this one, I'm also going to be stamping the big flower. So let me get that with the black ink. I'm definitely making a mess, I'm sorry. But like I said, I just was stamping like a wild woman. So I'm just inking that up. And I'm going to come over here and go up like this. There we go. And these two, we're going to use the ones that are cut out. So I think that looks good, except I am going to add a couple of the, I just want to get this smoky slate on here. And I need to do my greeting as well. So let me just add a little bit of a change of color. I don't need many of them because I already have some. So I'll do 3 in the smoky slate. Just adds that little bit of layering. And somewhere I had my little greeting, and I've probably dropped it. If that's the case, I'll just cut out another one. Let me just see if I can find it. Over here. And I don't see it where I had all the cardstock. So we'll just cut another one. It'll be just as easy. So let's just move some of these out because we're done with those. And all we have to do now is cut out our greeting and stamp it. So let me get the die. And I can actually use my mini cut and die machine. Love this little guy. So this is great for smaller dies. It is great to travel with. It is great to use on your desk, so it doesn't take up as much room, as you can see. So it has the 3 plates, but what you have to do to make this successful is that you have to bring the one plate down on the base and then bring this one. So you kind of have it in a layer to have it go through the machine nice and smooth. So I'm going to put that in the machine. I am going to grab a little piece of cardstock. I think I can get 2 of them out of this little piece of cardstock. So I am probably going to die cut it twice because that's what I always try to do. I'm just going to run it through. And take it out, and that's what it looks like. And we'll just set that aside for a second. This way, if I make a mistake, we don't have to die cut another one. So again, I'm going to off-center the 2 plates, and then I'm going to put the top one so it meets the bottom one, and then I can run this through the machine. So hi Roz, hi Bonnie, thank you for joining me tonight. Roz, Bonnie, you don't have to worry about being late because I was late, and I apologize for that. Okay, let's just get all of this and put it away. Oh, and I didn't cut this one right, so it moved on me because I wasn't paying attention. Let me just get this back in because I don't want to lose the die. All right, so we're going to use our Memento Black to stamp this. And this greeting says, "A little note of appreciation." And I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. And all we have left to do is score our card base and put our card together. So I'm just going to use my paper cutter today to do the scoring. So again, this is a 3.5 by 12 piece of cardstock. I'm going to score it at 4 and 8. Just make sure I'm using the gray score blade. And to get it to 8, I can just turn it the other way and score it at 4. So that gets us to 4 and 8 very easily. Then what I want to do with this, to do the folding, is I want to fold it in like a Z shape fold. And I'll show you that Z in just a second. So I'm just going to give it a nice crease, because as we know, is the most important thing when you're doing a fun fold. And you can see it's like a backwards Z. And then it is going to open backwards too. So it's going to open on the left and pull out like that. So let's start with getting those panels on. So I'm just adding adhesive to the back, and I am just going to put each of these panels on. I'm going to try to make sure I line them up nicely. I'm going to, in the middle, put the back side of the paper on. There we go. This paper, the leaves go in all different directions, so it doesn't have any real directionality. So it can go on any way it can. I'm sorry, Bonnie. Yeah, I totally had a really late day today and got home late, and I didn't have the card designed, and I had to contemplate, do I just try to design it now or do I cancel? And so I decided, I can get a card done in an hour, but no, I couldn't, and that's why I was late. I had thought about not even making a card, and then I would have been on time, but then I thought, oh, that's probably not a good idea to wing it. I mean, I can wing it as a science teacher because I have been teaching for so long. I've been doing this a long time too, but I don't know if I'd be comfortable coming on and winging it and not have anything planned. All right, so there's all of our paper on it. Now, I want this to fold so I can have it going either way, whichever way I want it. I want this to not be bigger than, so right now it's 4 inches across. I don't want it any bigger than 5.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is take my, let's see, this is my first one. So let's get this a little bit done. I'm going to want this to be going up right in the middle here. Like I said, it's going to end up being a little different than my first card, and that happens when I make cards, especially when I'm, haven't really taken my time to make it. So I'm going to start by adding a few dimensionals to the back of this because I want this to pop. And I like to go, especially when I'm collage stamping, I like to go based on what everything looks like. And with the way I've separated these, I just think this would go better going in that direction. And then I get to see both of the leaves. So that means that I'm going to put some, I want to put some black twine. So I put some tape on the back because I'm going to just have it coming around. And now maybe I'll be able to get this to work. I doubt it. But we'll try to see if I can get it the way I want it to be. Let's see how that looks. Now, I'm going to do it like I know I should do it. And I want it to come out this way. So it's going to go this way. And so I put the tape here so I can just kind of go back and forth and use my fingers to loop it. And I have it going the wrong way. So we're just gonna switch it. And I don't want the loose ends on the same side, so I'm just gonna bring that down a little bit and then bring it back up. There we go. And I'll just trim these a little bit. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to hold this together. And you know, I agree with you, Bonnie. I think this is a great card for men, but I also think this card could be for a woman too, with all the floral images on it. But yeah, it is another great card for a man with the color combination. Okay, we haven't put any bling, but this is what the first panel looks like. All right, the middle panel. We're not going to add anything to this except some bling, so we're just going to leave that alone, and I'm going to put that right there. And then this final panel, we are going to add another one, and I think I'm going to put this one a little bit up the middle like that, and then we're going to add a bow to it. So again, I'm going to add some dimensionals. Good. Okay, let's see. I could have it like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it like that. There we go. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow that we're going to add with a glue dot. I'm using just the baker's twine. This comes from the multi-pack, so it's not as heavy or thick as a piece of ribbon, so I'm able to put more on it. And I'm going to put that right down here. There we go. Okay, and so that's what that panel looks like. And now we can start putting the card together. So I want to make sure I'm holding it correctly. So it's going to be held like this. And I am going to put it in the corner of my grid on my glass mat. So it's right here at the bottom. And I am going to take that first panel, and what I'm going to do is just put some adhesive at the bottom, because I'm not going to be putting it up all on the top. And so you can see it. I know on the camera you can't see the whole thing, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So 5.5 is right here. So I want to get this so it's even, and I want to move it so it's not going over that 5.5. It's okay if it's a little under, but it's not okay if it's a little over. So there I have the first arch on. Now I don't need my grid. I'm going to go to my second card, and this is the one that's going to go on the back, and I am going to put adhesive all over this because I want it to stick at the top. I don't want it to just be flapping it around. So I'm going to line it up by lining it up with the front piece. And then I'm going to attach it. And I'm just going to make sure, yep, that looks great. So we've got the back and the front. Perfect. Now I'm going to take, and I'm going to close the card like that. And I'm going to take my middle piece right here. And again, I'm only going to put my adhesive down on the bottom third. And I'm going to line this up with the top again. There's no adhesive on my top, so I don't have to worry about it sticking. And I'm going to add that. So now I have my first two on, and I'm going to turn this over. And my thank you with the branch in the middle is going to go on the back. So this one is going to get some adhesive all around it. And I just have to line this up with the back, and then I'll adhere it down. Okay, that looks good on both sides. So now I'm going to take and start with my back on this one because of just the way it's folding, and I'm going to line it up like that. I am going to put all of the adhesive on this because I want it to stick to the other piece. But when I'm putting it down, I'm going to be very careful not to stick it to my other panel. So I'm just going to line it up, and when it's time, and before I put it all the way down, it's good on the other side, then I can press that down. And now I'm ready to put on my final piece. And again, it's only going to get the bottom, and there's already adhesive on the top. So I'd love to see what you make with this fold. So feel free to post a picture of your cards in the panel. I'd love to see it with other dies. We have the corner dies, we have the rectangular ones, and now all we have to do is put some bling on it. And with this suite comes the neutral matte dots, and they are in white, black, vanilla, or they're more beige, and the pecan pie. So you've got a nice assortment. You can see I really like the black because I've been using them a lot. So let me just get my tool and let's put some of these down. So I think I'm going to start with one right here on the label and then add a couple of small ones up here. I'm actually going to put the dots on all of the pieces. I could add some white ones if I wanted. I could, you know, use them any way I want. So I am just going to keep adding them. And so I like to use odd numbers. So for this card, I'm going to use 9 of them. And I think we'll go a little higher here. I'm going to have to get another package because I just like them too much. All right, so there is our card. So we have this side, and then on the back you have plenty of room to write, but it's all decorated too. So we have a nice finished piece, and it stands up really nice for a display. So that's a win in my book. So I want to talk to you about something I'm going to start, and I'm going to do it for the month of April. And next Friday night, I will show you the cards. But I'm going to start with anyone who places a $75 order through my website with me as your demonstrator. I am going to, at the end of each month, so this will be a monthly thing, each month that you place a $75 order, you will earn a free fun fold class. And you will be able to make 3 fun folds, and I will send you all the supplies. You'll have to use your own stamps, your own adhesive, but if something needs to be die cut, I will die cut it for you. I will design them. I will email you a PDF so that you'll have all the directions to make them. And I just think it will be a fun way to reward my customers who shop with me, and to give an incentive to maybe some people who want to shop with me. So again, if you spend a $75 order during the month of April, at the end of the month of April, I'll run my reports, check out who spent $75, and I will then send you a free fun fold class. And I will do the same for May, spend $75 in May. If you and June, July, and so on. So feel free to take advantage of that offer. So that's going to be it for me tonight. I will be using this set in our Simply Stamping Sunday, and I am going to do a black and white Sunday. So this is just kind of a sneak peek of all things black and white with this set. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. It's going to be rainy in the Northeast, and it looks like it's rainy down where Lynn lives as well. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday night. Oh, and Sunday night I'm going to be on an hour early because of my Zoom. So I will be on at 6 o'clock. So be looking for me. Take care, everyone. Good night.